Hello and welcome back to my channel. So in this third episode of Shrewd Techie, I'm going to talk about slow performance. Now if your Windows 11 PC feels slow, games are lagging or startup takes forever, this video is for you. Now today I'll show you 7 powerful Windows 11 settings that can boost performance, reduce lag and make your system feel faster and smoother in just a few minutes. So now let's get started without wasting any further time. Okay, so the very first step is to disable startup apps. So this is one of the very basic step that really helps in faster boot time and smoother performance. So to get to startup apps, all you do is right click on taskbar, then go to Task Manager. Now here on the left, you will see Startup Apps there. So if you wonder which are the programs you can disable, so for example, the programs like Discord, Spotify, Teams, Adobe apps, or any game launchers, or for that matter, I would say you can pretty much disable all the programs except your printer and also the cloud. If you are using like iCloud or OneDrive or Google Drive, make sure you don't disable those. Apart from that, you can disable everything, right? All right, so moving on to the second step, which is to turn off visual effect, right? So the computers are usually adjusted for the better, the visual effects or the better appearance, I would say. So we need to change that to the better performance. So how to do that is we click on search box at the bottom and simply type in adjust the appearance, and you will see adjust the appearance and performance of Windows option there. And in here you need to select adjust for best performance, and this really helps in a huge speed boost on older PCs or laptop, right? All right, so the third step is to change power mode to best performance. Now, by default, whether it is a laptop or a PC, the power mode is always set to balance, right? Now, changing that to best performance really help improves responsiveness, and the frames per second in games is really improved, right? So, how to make this change is we go to Start, then we go into Settings there, and then on the left hand side we choose System, and then we go to Power and Battery. So in here we will go to power mode. So you see this is on balanced, so we will change this to best performance for both plugged in and on battery for laptop. And for the PC you will only see one drop down, so you need to choose best performance on that. So that's it for the third step. All right. All right. So moving on to the fourth step, which is to disable or terminate the background application. So the thing is, the programs which you are not opening does not necessarily mean it's not running in the background. So an installed program is always running silently in the background apps, eating up the RAM. So you can either go ahead and disable the permissions to those applications, or you can simply terminate the applications if you don't really want to uninstall it, since you may be using it but very rarely, right? So I'll show you how to do that. We will go ahead and go to Start, and then we go to Settings, then we go to Applications, and then we choose Installed App. Now here is the list of all the applications and the programs installed in the computer. Now it may not allow you to terminate or make changes to the permissions for every single app, but most of the third party applications it will allow, and that's all we need. So I will take an example of let's say for an instance the Windows Mail application, right? So because I don't even use it, but obviously we cannot really uninstall it because it's part of the Windows, right? So there is Mail and Calendar. Let me just go ahead and click on three dots and we go to advanced options. So here the app permissions is something which you can turn off for the applications that you don't frequently use, or you can simply terminate this application from here, right? So when you have to use it again, you can come back and enable it again, right? So terminate does not mean the program will be removed, right? So it's just going to not run in the background. That's about it, right? All right. So the fifth step is to free up storage sense. So the storage clutters slows down the windows, and when you use the computer, it's pretty obvious for it to accumulate a lot of junk, temp files, Windows cached image. So it slows down the computer. So it's important that you do the cleanup. You can either do a manual cleanup, or you can use the storage sense, and you can even schedule the storage sense to periodically clean the computer. So let me show you how it's done. So all we do is we go to start, and we go to settings, and then we go to system, and here we go to storage. So now under storage management, you will see storage sense. This has to be turned on, right? And then you can click on storage sense to then schedule. Like you can do it every month, or you can do it once in a week. That's up to you. So you can schedule it, or you can even run the the cleanup manually. If you scroll down all the way, there is run storage sense now. So if you click on that, it's going to do the cleanup. Okay, and primarily storage sense removes the temp files, the Windows cached image, and the recycle bin. It cleans the recycle bin, and that's about it. All right, so moving on to the sixth step, which is to disable the search indexing. Now, there is a way you can modify search indexing as to which folders to be included or excluded from the indexing, but that is for the advanced users. So I would recommend you to simply disable the search indexing from the services, and that's not going to harm anything. All right, so let me show you how it's done. So click on the search box at the bottom and type in services, and just open services, and these are the list of services, and look for Windows search, and there it is. So we can simply go ahead and double tap on it and stop the service. That's it. So it would really help with reducing the disk spikes, right? So, seventh and the final step is to turn off transparency and animations effects. Now, these fancy UI effects slows down the computers with the low and mid configurations. So, turning off these effects makes the UI cleaner and faster. So, let me show you how to disable these. So, go to Start and Settings, then to Accessibility, and then to visual effects. Now, the transparency effects and animation effects, we have to turn both of these off, right? So now, as an additional recommendation, I would like to suggest uninstalling unnecessary bloatwares. Now, these are manufacturer installed applications, often run at startup and in the background, consuming system resources. If they are not essential, consider removing them to improve system performance. Now that's all for now in this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.